Hi, my name is Tessa Yetzi. I have cerebral palsy. I'm married. My husband and I have lived in 3 buildings with mold. The first place had black mold in the closet on the first floor. The second was caused by water leak. I don't know what exactly happened. And the third place had a leaky roof. And now I got all kinds of issues from it, but that's besides the point. I just don't understand how people can buy buildings and make them into an apartment for people to live in, which is great and fantastic. But once they turn into a landlord, it seems like they don't want to do their job. I have had several landlords, and this is why sometimes I wish we had a little bit more money. I wish we had enough money to buy a place, but unfortunately, that will never happen. Maybe I'll own my own place, but that's if somebody gives me a place. I do pay bills and stuff. Um, it just gets very frustrating. Um, I have days where I don't feel good. I have days where all I do is sneeze. I have all kinds of problems from mold, and I do have mild cerebral palsy, but most of them can walk on their own. But unfortunately, because I lived in black mold, I have to use a walker or a cane, and I have both. I don't get embarrassed. I really don't care what other people think. My health is more important than what other people think of me. I put usually my daughter that lives with my mom and my cats first. Then it's my health. Then it's usually my husband. But I am very thankful that I have him. I'm very thankful that my daughter lives with my mother. And yes, I honestly wish she was living with me. The hardest thing is missing her, not seeing her beautiful face every day. But that's alright, 'cause I know when she's older, hopefully she'll be there for me, like I wish I could be for her. I have to live so far away. I live, at the moment, an hour from my mom, and which is about 45-ish minutes from my dad, because they live about 15 minutes at the moment from each other. But I would do anything for my little girl, but lie. I don't believe in lying. I believe in the truth. I think that everybody in the world needs to know that There are different types of mold. There is black mold, white mold, starchy mold. I might be saying that wrong. And there's a lot more. And people should know that it's bad for your health if you live in mold. The best thing that you can do to avoid getting it into your place is try to clean it, but do not clean mold with bleach, because bleach does not kill it. You're better off going to the dollar store or somewhere and getting, you want to make sure that you always have, white vinegar. You want to make sure that you always have ammonia. I clean my bathroom with ammonia. And, it does a pretty good job. It for the outside, of my toilet and stuff, I usually use it. I'm gonna use it for my sink too. Because what happens is, people think that using anything with bleach, regular bleach or something like scrubbing bubbles. I love scrubbing bubbles. It works, don't get me wrong. But it has bleach in it. So what I do is I actually wash the inside of my toilet. I take my dish detergent I buy and I put it in my toilet all around. And then I leave it for about 1 or 2 minutes. And then I take my scrubber for the inside of the toilet and I clean it. And then the outside I use the ammonia. And I notice for like the crannies in your bathtub, and or if you have a stand-up shower, what I do is I sit on my shower. I sit on my shower floor because it makes it easier because I have cerebral palsy and I can't stand very long. So I literally sit on the floor, and sometimes I will use more than one thing to clean it. I will make sure I have a toothbrush. I use that for the little places. And then I go buy Mr. Clean at the dollar store, the magic erasers, because those work wonderful. And you'll be surprised how much stuff you can actually get off it. I like it. I would suggest that. A lot of people also say that if you lived in mold, you have to throw away a lot of your stuff. I've only thrown out a couple books, and I like to buy books from the author R.L. Stine, the Fear Street books. Because of my cerebral palsy, I'm in the mind of a teenager, but I do adult things. I pay bills, I take care of my 2 kitties, I make sure that my daughter that lives at my mom's gets the things she needs. I actually have a backpack, and my mom's supposed to come and get me for a special appointment for my daughter. Um, it is a leopard backpack, and I really want to buy one for myself because I always put my, and believe it or not, I put my daughter first. Just sometimes I run into those months where you actually need to buy yourself something you really, really, really need. Like, my husband and I are overweight, and he weighs a lot more than I do. Believe it or not, I have lost like 30 pounds, in like a year and a half. And I'm trying really hard because walking doesn't help me lose weight because I can't always walk because I have those days when my legs get really, really sore. I've always been able to walk. I have mild cerebral palsy, and before I lived in Mold, I was able to go for a walk, and I'd be able to walk for like an hour, and then sit, relax, have fun, go swimming, all that awesome fun stuff, until almost a year later, I fell into a walker. I don't have that walker anymore, but I'm thankful that the person gave it to me. It was a walker that my mom's best friend gave me that her father had, and I will cherish that. But I don't have it anymore. I have 2 walkers and a cane. I bought one walker, and the state bought the other one. And a wonderful lady a few months ago gave me a cane, and I'm gonna start using it again soon. I just had to buy something for the bottom of it because one of the pieces fell off and should be here today. Today is September 2nd, 2019, on Monday, believe it or not. But every day, I'm thankful that I'm here. A lot of people get frustrated, don't know what to do, but I thank the Lord I'm here. It actually changed my life. I try very hard not to get mad. I try not to get upset and frustrated. I try very hard to understand. I was brought up like a normal person. I wasn't brought up the way that some people bring up their children with disabilities. My mom and dad had tried to have 3 kids, and my sister was a stillborn. I was born dead, but I say Jesus didn't want me. He wasn't ready for me, and he kicked me in the butt and sent me down to earth. And it's the cutest way that I could describe it, because how else would you describe it? And then when I was breathing, they put something in my head right here. I don't know what it was for. I never asked my mom. I just have pictures of it, and I know that I had to have a blood transfusion. I was stuck in an incubator for 2 weeks. The same doctor that delivered my husband delivered me, but he made a mistake with me. That's how I have cerebral palsy. I sit back and I wonder, how do doctors always make the same mistake, and there are thousands of us that is born with different cerebral palsies? Yes, there is different ones, and some people have 2 different kinds of cerebral palsy. But you gotta be thankful if you're here today. It doesn't matter your reason. Do you have a different disability than I do? Do you not have a disability? It doesn't matter. You should thank God you're here. I do every day. Don't mind me. I have 2 kitties. One of them is Muff Potter. He's a tuxedo, and another one that just turned a year old named Pumpkin Cinnamon. My mom gave me her. Hey, you better not lose that piece, you little brat. I'm trying to put a door back on my. What are you playing with? I don't know what she's playing with, but that's good. What is that? Yeah, I got her from my mom. She was in a litter of 4 girls. One of them, the day that they were born, passed away. And apparently my sister's dog scared one of the other girls, and that one passed away. I don't know any more than that. And there was 2 of them left, so they kept one and gave me one. I thank God for her every day, because she's good for my little boy, Muff. She's fixed, so I don't have to deal with that crying and stuff. So, yeah. Back to the mold. There are tons and tons of mold, and they don't tell people that. You also can only eat a certain amount of stuff, and it sucks. And if I eat the wrong things, it makes my stomach quiver, mad, and I feel like I'm on a never-ending diet, and I can't afford really healthy stuff. I can't afford to go out and buy organic food. People don't understand. Not everybody has the money for it. Somebody a couple weeks ago suggested that I go and I pay for renters insurance. Yes, it's a great idea, but I don't have the income for it, and I don't like arguing with people, to be honest with you. And my nose itches. And I said, I can't afford it. It's not in my budget. I only make a certain amount of money, and I pay enough money in rent, and it doesn't leave me with much money at all after I pay my bills. And some people don't realize each state is different. And I'm not worried about it because one day I'm either going to get my dad's land or my grandmother's land. And if I get all of them, I plan on letting my sister live there. Of course, she'll have to pay at least rent. And I'll do whatever I can for her because I love my siblings. My mother did have two other kids by other people. My dad also remarried when I was 10. He met a woman when I was 8, and apparently I knew her parents before her. My grandfather used to take me down to this hot dog stand, which my step-grandparents used to own. And down the road they saved up money and they got they made it that they built a log cabin for people to come in and sit, which was awesome. But when my stepmother could, she worked there, and she would pick me up from school, and she would take me to her apartment, and when my dad got home, she would bring my sister and I back over, go bring us back home, and every grandkid got free drinks and food, and there was plenty of us. I never called them to this day. I still don't call my step-grandmother my step-grandmother. I call her Grammy, and at the moment I only have 3 of them left. My step-grandmother and my mom's mom and my dad's mom and my grandfather's are all gone. My dad's mom lives down the road from my dad, so once in a while I will copy pictures and I will send them to my grandmother, and believe it or not, it's about time I have to take a new one of my kitties and I and do it. And that's what I do. I want my grandmother to know that I love her. But I just want to make sure that people know that, yes, there are many different molds. I don't know what they are, but they can make you very, very, very sick, depending on what they are. The worst ones are starchy mold. I keep saying it wrong. And black mold. The other ones can make you sick too, but I don't honestly know what the names of them are. So, but that's alright. I just want people to know that you can get very sick. You can have lots of health problems. I might have fallen into a walker and a cane, but even though I have all kinds of symptoms because of the mold, I'm glad I don't deal with what some other people deal with. Some of them are disabled because of the mold. Stay off that. Because of the mold, some people, they can't walk. Sometimes you gotta show people the light. You gotta show people that they shouldn't give up. Come on, I have cerebral palsy, okay? I went from living in black mold with my husband. We started out having upper respiratory infections. Our guinea pig passed away because she had breast cancer. I'm assuming it's from the mold. But I know that they don't live very long, but she was very beautiful. And I got a cold. We left there because the doctor said to. And then I remember I got a cold. And the stuff that my husband was buying didn't work. So we had to go buy Robitussin. And I've always bought Vicks. And I've always bought in cough drops. Doesn't matter the kind. And it helped me get better. I started having an ear infection a little later. I don't think it was that year. I think it was the following year. It was like New Year's Eve when the first one developed. Because not long after that, I found out that one of my aunts, before she passed away, she got breast cancer again. And people laugh at me because I call it bone cancer. I also found out that my mother's brother had died from lung cancer. They unfortunately couldn't save him, but he really tried. But my aunt, she got it twice, and it literally went deeper the second time, and she totally gave up, but she tried. And she was a wonderful person. And a month after I developed an inner ear infection, I think it was in this one. The following month, I got it in my left ear, and I had it for like 8 and 9 months, and I literally thought I was gonna go deaf. I could hear, but I told my husband, you better learn some sign language just in case. Because we was on vacation. We went to stay in Florida for a while. And, eventually we moved back up to Maine. Our landlord that we had one more apartment left. And we brought home a kitty. Not any of the ones I have today. A Maine Coon cat. She was beyond beautiful. Every day I wish she was here, and that is the reason why we have Potter, but I'll get to that soon. So we got a new bed there, that apartment. It was on the in the basement. Our friend had recently murdered herself, killed herself, whatever you want to call it. And we ended up there for quite a few months. And then one day the refrigerator started leaking, and the landlord did not have the money to fix it. And unfortunately, we did. We fixed it. We were also making sure that we had heat and hot water in our building on the side of a couple other people in the building. And one day, out of the blue, my husband ordered Domino's, and I started to puke. And then if he would order food from Papa John's, I would have diarrhea. Either that is the other way around. One of them, actually, I think Papa John's makes me puke. The other one gives me diarrhea. I get them confused. Yeah, I think it's that way around. And eventually, the landlord lost that building, but before he lost that building, I quit smoking because I got asthma. So I got myself to quit cold turkey. That was good. And each week I would still buy cigarettes, but what I would do is I would smoke less and less. I repeatedly tell myself that cigarettes was gross, disgusting, and not worth the money. And my husband would buy stuff from the dollar store, like candy or something, to help me. And it worked. I even would suck on cough drops or whatever to help. But I always usually had candy to help. And eventually I went from, like, I wasn't a bad, horrible chain smoker or anything. I went from smoking 2 or 3 packs a week to none. And I still was having ear problems, of course, and the doctor at the hospital, and I've always been open to the doctors about every problem that I have. And finally, a man looked into my ear, and he finally gave me the right stuff. Because when I was down in Florida, apparently they weren't giving me what I needed. Currently at the moment, I do not have my drops, and I'm gonna need them. But that's besides. And my ears cleaned up. But the thing is, I still have problems, and I bought a couple different things. I suggest that if you ever have earaches, inner earaches or regular earaches, do not use swimmer's ear stuff. I used that and it made my ears burn. And now today, I can't be around anything that burns, big or small. Not, in other words, if I'm at a cookout, I have to watch what I'm doing because I'll have to take special stuff for my ears. And I went and I got some, that didn't work, so I went and bought some ear relief drops, and I still use them today, so if we're gonna have rain or snow or whatever, it still hurts my ears. If I'm around fire and stuff, it hurts. And whatever, it hurts my ears. I don't like loud noises. The bigger the fire, the more my ears hurt. The longer days they hurt. But after we left that building, we ended up living somewhere else. We lost our kitty. Then eventually we got Muff Potter about a month and a half later. It was the best decision ever because apparently the people did not want him. And don't mind me. Then not long after, before we got him, I fell into a walker. My mom noticed my walking was worse, so she brought over a walker from her best friend's father, who had just passed away at the time. And that's how I got the walkers that I have now. Because I needed a new one, and that one just was old. And then I gained short-term memory loss. I still deal with it. I have ways to remember. I repeat things in my head to remember. When I got my kitty Muff, I wrote down everything that I needed to do for him until I remembered like literally everything. Feed him, give him water, change his cat box until I remembered. And of course it was only like not long after we moved out of that second place with mold. Literally the following day I started vomiting more. I started having constant diarrhea. It has gotten better today, but I have more diarrhea than I get sick today. Last year, I only puked twice this year, several times, but it's not as bad as it's been throughout the few years. And all this started in like 2012, 2013, and um, you gotta be thankful. Um, I even moved from that place. My vision got worse. That was the third place that got mold. I had a leaking roof. And one day I was watching, we had cable at the time, and I couldn't even see the TV guide. I asked my husband to make us an appointment to see the eye doctor. It came out that we both needed glasses. And supposedly my husband needed them since 18 years old. But apparently, even though he was having problems with his with his eyes, I told him that was silly. Why feel stupid? I wouldn't have made fun of you. And I'm allergic to different medicines now. My husband brought home Advil or some. I think it's Advil. Walmart brand, and I took it for my cerebral palsy pain. My legs or something back, something was hurting, and I needed it. And I took it a couple times, and I broke out in hives, and we eventually threw it out. And I took a picture, posted it on Facebook, and I'm like, what is this? Didn't know what it was because I already knew I was allergic to bees. So now I'm very careful of what I do. I'm very thankful of everything that I deal, even though I deal with stuff. It seems like I have more problems. I have about 15 different things, but I can't remember what they all are. So there are more walking problems, ear problems, I puke, I have diarrhea, I have new allergies. Allergies, I probably can do like at least three things that I know of. And, memory problems. Eye problems. Fatigue problems. It's actually gotten better. Seems like there's more than that. There is more than that, but I can't think of what they all are. But I just want people to know that mold grows everywhere. But, like I said, the best thing that you can use to clean your house with is ammonia or buy buy white vinegar and put it in a spray bottle and about halfway, and fill the rest with water to clean and dust and stuff. Yeah, that's what I have to deal with. The place that I have now, I'm hoping doesn't have mold. My landlord knows about the door that we have, but we're hoping that he fixes the problem so we don't have to. If we have to do it, he's gonna get angry. Possibly. But hopefully not. Hopefully he listens. He always has. I'm not saying he's the perfect landlord, but he's better than the rest of them that we've had. Fingers crossed. So, but if you live in mold or have lived in mold, please take it seriously. If your husband and wife say that you live in mold, don't be a douche, because they want to be with you. And if you are the type of person, you're stubborn, and you don't want to listen to them, and you know that you're both sick, and you don't know why you're sick, stop being stubborn. You married that person for sickness and in health. So get off your stinky butt and actually read up on mold. Yes. We are survivors. We have a chronic disease. Can it be cured? In time. It doesn't go away like that. I read somewhere where somebody said she's been suffering for 20 years. But you gotta try. That's the thing. There's things like activated charcoal and other things. And it can do a lot of things. And some of the stuff is not on the website. There is a website. If I knew how to link it in my videos, like I would. I'll look it up and put it down below in a couple different areas if I have to. But yeah, just if your spouse says that you live in mold, take it serious, because there are a lot of us that are sick, and I'll tell you, there's people worse than I am, and I'm just thankful every day I'm here. You gotta be thankful for the things that you have, not what you don't. Sheesh. I've had kidney stones in the past. That's before I even got sick. And all kinds of stuff. Just be thankful. If you can walk, you can talk, just be thankful. Share your stories, get them out there. never hold regrets. Be thankful you're here. If Jesus wanted, he's had plenty of chances to take me, but apparently I'm too stubborn and he's not ready for me yet. But yeah, so I guess I will get off here. Hopefully I'm talking loud enough. I don't feel good. Yes, there is even food that we're supposed to eat, but I can't afford organic food, and trying hard to lose weight. I've lost like 50 pounds. I think part of it is from throwing up. I'm not interested. But it's okay. I drink a lot of water and I'm happy, even if I don't look like it sometimes. If I feel down, I try to think of something different, try to get my mind off it. So, but I suppose I'll get off here. It's 5:05 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. So, hopefully my story will reach across to other people. And yes, you can get an itchy scalp, where it itches. I also have dandruff, but it's not just because I have dandruff, it's because you live in mold. Your eyes can water, and sugar. I try to avoid it, but you can't exactly avoid all of it. And just in case I do, I have to take allergy pills if I get itchy, because it does cause itchy on your skin, not just your head. It literally feels like there's bugs walking in between your skin. But I hope this video helps people. If you have questions, I will try to answer the best I can. So, if you live or lived in mold, please take it serious, and believe your spouse. Put your spouse first. Put your health first. If you believe in Jesus, that's even better. Always at least put them first. So, I'm gonna get off here, and do whatever. So, thanks for listening. See you later.